You know, Chair, the co-chair from the National Assembly, I think now the basis of my mistrust has been confirmed, because you have made it clear, and at least I have understood you to mean, that the sole intention of the members of the National Assembly who are a part of this mediation is to use this mediation to blackmail the entire county government infrastructure so that you get what you want. When the Constitution under Article 96 talks about us as a Senate being representatives of the county governments and their interest, it doesn't mean that I am the legal representative of the county governments or their lawyers. We are not their lawyers. So I find it extremely disingenuous and very disrespectful for members of this committee to suggest that we can find a way to have a sitting with the county governors so that we force them to withdraw a case that they have filed under their constitutional right to question things in courts of law. So if indeed the entire reason for this mediation is so that the National Assembly can blackmail all of us so that they get what they want, then there is no reason for us to sit here. Honorable Chair, it has become extremely clear that the Division of Revenue now has been taken hostage by the National Assembly, and it will not be released until they get their RMLF money. The chair from the National Assembly doesn't want to mention a fund because he knows this is what they do every single time. The fund he has refused to mention is the CDF. Last time, because there was a court case, they used this process to manipulate and to blackmail all of us so that they get what they want. It is extremely unfair. And because Honorable Undo has taken time to read to me my roles, I also want to remind him that under Article 95(2), the National Assembly is required to resolve issues of concern to the people, not issues of concern to members of the National Assembly. It cannot be that you always front-load issues of CDF and RMLF because they are of concern to members of the National Assembly, not of concern to the people. Even when you are mentioning this issue of the presidential memorandum, you are threatening us that we will not be able to raise 2/3 in both houses. Yet, just last week, a few weeks ago, there was a grave matter here where raising 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly and the Senate was not a problem. Where have those 2/3 gone? No wonder the public are criticizing us, that when it is issues to do with us, politicians, it's very easy for us to raise these numbers. But when it is questions to do with the public, Honorable Oundo, in your county in Busia, the question of CHPs, the question of the state of healthcare is a matter of concern to the people. The question of water in Nairobi is a question of concern to the people. It should be the foremost thinking of any member of the National Assembly, because that is what 95(2) requires you to do. So, Chair, me, I was hoping, because the tone that had been taken, I have not finished. And you are in our chamber, you should also allow us to feel that we are playing from the home ground. This is our home ground. Honorable Chair, let me finish. We are a home ground, how do you know so? Chair, now I've even lost my train of thought. I had not finished, you know. So I had seen some light at the end of the tunnel from the presentation by Honorable Ochieng, that the issues were identified. Can we begin by being explained to, as a Senate, the thinking behind your amendment to Section 3 of the Act? Why is it, as a principle now, as members of Parliament, can Parliament take a position and say, this is going to be the principle going forward? If there's a shortfall in national revenue, who should bear that responsibility? So that next year and the year after that is not an issue. And we don't fight about that. Then we move progressively the way that he had listed those issues. He has said, and we had acknowledged, those of us from the Senate, that this issue of the RMLF is important to the members of the National Assembly. We had agreed that we will have to find a way to make a statement about that. How is that not enough, Honorable Oundo? As an assurance from you that we also consider this issue a big issue. But it is a personal issue. It's a personal issue to members of the National Assembly. It is not a matter that is personal to the people. So, Honorable, he's disrupting my train of thought. Honorable Chair, so can we be told now by the members of the National Assembly, are they saying that unless we have a solution, unless we assure Honorable Undo that I'll go and find the Council of Governors and tell them to withdraw their case, that this mediation cannot go on? Is that what they are saying? Because if that is what they are saying, then we can also draw certain lines in the sand. We will not be used to blackmail other institutions that we have no control over.
Honorable Undo.
First of all, I want to put it on record. RLMF is not for members of Parliament. CDF is not for the members of Parliament. The roads are not for members of parliament. They don't use the roads exclusively. They are for the people of Kenya. CDF is not petty cash for members of parliament. It is for the people of Kenya, the poor boys and girls in the various schools in this country, who make sure they get classrooms, they get dormitories, they get laboratories, they get bursary. We need to take this notion out of senators that CDF, RLMF is petty cash for members of parliament. It is not. It is for the people of Kenya. Would they as well argue that the money given to the counties is for the governors, so that they can carry chairs with them wherever they go, carpets wherever they go? We're not going to that point of view. We are simply saying we need to resolve the issues at hand. And we are telling you, senators, we need to look at the end of this mediation. This mediation is not ending here. Finally, it has to go to the National Assembly. And we are being very honest with you. Yeah, but finally, remember, at the end of the day, the final place is the National Assembly. If, as we clearly say, if we fail to agree, we read an existing law which will serve for the rest of the financially. So we need to be very realistic and be very accommodative to each other. We are simply saying, when you come to equity, you must come with clean hands, period.
Because I know we're responding back and forth. The co-chair presented some issues, and he made reference to the National Assembly severally, where he sits as a chair of budget. It's very important to have something clear. You know, for me from morning, my discussion has been objectivity. And you may not see the point, but as we continue, you will see the point of that objectivity and how important it is. The jurisdictional responsibility of this committee is limited to division of revenue. Number one. Number two, the decision by the committee on numbers will definitely give rise to the need to do Supplementary 2 and Appropriation Act. Nothing is cast in stone. It's going to happen one way or the other. Supplementaries have been prepared on flimsy grounds in the past in this country, and it has been passed. But 47 county governments being impacted, necessitating a supplementary budget is not something unforeseen. Number three, the precarious situation that we discussed is a reality of the law and procedures. It is what it is. Number four, so that it's very clear, I was hoping that we do what is in our mandate as a mediation committee on the amendment of DORA, so that then if we execute what is in our mandate, we worry about the second stage, which is now both houses. And I'm very sorry, Honorable Undo and my co-chair has kept on referring, the buck stops at the National Assembly. If that was the case, we would not be seated in this mediation. You would have ruled on what you rule and passed what you see fit, and then it passes. The reason why we are here is it will go back to both houses, the Senate and the National Assembly. Meaning, even if the National Assembly agrees, passes, refuses, it will still have to come back to this house. And without us agreeing and finding a point of convergence, we are not going anywhere. So this is how the Constitution is framed, unfortunately. Now, no, unfortunately for the views you hold in terms of it goes to National Assembly. If it doesn't pass, then that is the end of it in that issue. Now, division of revenue, and I'm only concentrating on statement of fact, nothing emotional, nothing about who feels what. Division of revenue governs the vertical share of revenue between the national government and county government. RMLF is a product of a fund legislated by an act of parliament collected by Kenya Revenue Board to be appropriated between national trunk roads and county roads. And it has to be very clear in terms of these are all facts. Now, as to whether I feel the National Assembly should be doing the county roads or Kera Kura should be doing the county roads, or that, because that is within the law. You know, when we discussed, and I was there as a governor, the discussion was national trunk roads or national roads and county roads. Now, RMLF are funds collected by an act of parliament by Kenya Roads Board. Now, tying RMLF to vertical share of revenue or nationally collected revenue in terms of DORA becomes a bit unfortunate in terms of discussion. Because if the mandate is mixed up, then we're not going anywhere. I would really love this discussion to be a very heated discussion in the next mediation of county additional allocation, where that issue lies. Now, sincerely speaking, because I did not come this morning for purpose of outsmarting each other in terms of discussion, we have a mandate. The mandate is very clear, confined to division of revenue, amendment bill as proposed by the National Assembly, passed by the National Assembly, amended by the Senate, and we have to find convergence. I want us to take a break with only one objective. Please, honorable members, and from the National Assembly, I'm pleading with you through the chair. If the mentality you've come to this meeting with is that there is no mediation unless RMLF is resolved, then you're not going anywhere. You better call off the meeting. You know, in all sincerity. If the objective, listen, if the objective of us coming to this meeting is adjudicating on our mandate of Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, then let's come back and frame the issues. And the issues are very simple. I agree 300% with what Honorable David Ochen has framed. Now we can then objectively discuss one item at a time, and we can have back and forth to a point of agreement on the issues. And please, so that I want to give another chance, because we need to have a principle of engagement so that we move from tying one issue that is not related to the issue at hand together. We take a break and we come back with a solution to the problem at hand. Thank you very much, my co-chair. Over to you.
As we go to the break, Honorable Sifuna is my brother. And I want to be very, very honest with you on the issues you raised. And please forgive me if I refer to other mediations. It's not a proof of experience. It is a proof of I've been there, I saw. Last time when we met with the Council of Governors, and I'll be very bare on it, I was lucky to get governors who've been members of parliament, together with the other governors. The chair, outgoing chair of COG was there. Honorable Wanga was there. I actually never said it. Honorable Wanga was very forthright with them. He told them, as you negotiate, these are the likely political advice that you may get. So if we want to sound sophisticated and we want to sound very official, I'll go with Honorable Sifuna. Let's raise the issues. Let's even conclude our mediation meeting today, and we proceed to the National Assembly. If that is what we want, we are very agreeable. However, I don't think the mandate of this mediation is to finish the meeting quickly. Neither is it to present the report. From where I sit, the mandate of this mediation is to successfully unlock the monies. If that is what we have in mind, Honorable Sifuna, unfortunately, we will not run away from the fact that this report will end up in the Senate, and this report will end up in the National Assembly. And for sure, as the light comes in the morning, Honorable Sifuna, is that without addressing the underlying issues, I am just being honest. Let me finish. I am not. I have been there. I know for sure. No.
Senator Sifuna, allow him to finish, please.
Honorable Sifuna,
finish.
You know the same thing, the same reasoning, and I'm telling you, today just come to the National Assembly, interact with members. In fact, I usually feel the cases around the FAD are always now the blackmail. The reasoning of the Senate, as you say, the reasoning of the National Assembly is that the COG uses the case to blackmail the process. And that is the fact. So we can move forward, but I've given you the atmosphere in the National Assembly, and we can't run away from it.
My proposal, Chair, just one thing. My proposal, now that we have added the comments, why don't we adjourn until next week, and then maybe when we meet, we will have handled most of the issues. Yeah.
Chair, you refused me to speak, and
you know, Honorable Kiplagat, I guided that we don't just pick the mic and speak, so that we're able to get a bit of discussion in an orderly manner.
Chair, please don't assume.
You know, we are not getting anywhere. It's not issue of counter-argument. I just want to say we take, with all the facts having said, the issue here is whether we discuss today, we discuss next week, the underlying issues will not end. With the clear mandate of this committee, can we take a break of about 20 minutes, please? We consult and we come back here with whether we can agree on the mandate of the committee as guided by both houses, or because of the impending controversial issue, we suspend the discussion. Because why I say this is because unless we have it clear, we can move forward. Honorable Co-Chair. Okay, now can we just take the 20 minutes break, all of us? We come back after 20 minutes. Please consult during that 20 minutes as to, remember, I don't, you know, going through an exercise in futility is not good. You understand? Because if you believe we're not going to make any progress and it's a predetermined position, then no matter how objective issues are shared, we are not going to progress, right? I think consult, and it's, that is the essence of mediation. A little bit of break, consult, and the honorable senators have offered, you can use the lounge next door, the Senate lounge, and we can be left in here. I think it's lunchtime. You can have. I think, okay, I had not looked at the time, considering it's almost 1 o'clock. I think it's even more logical that we take 1 hour lunch break and we reconvene here. Secretariat, lunch is provided for this. Okay. Courtesy of the chair, the chair of Budget and Appropriation, Senate is not properly funded. So you can reach at the National Assembly. Thank you very much. I think the meeting is adjourned. We reconvene at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.